What's up? Welcome back, everybody. How have you been? How are you doing today? It's been a while since I've made a 4K HD YouTube video, and I've been meaning to make this video because it's been over 3 years vegan. Ooh, eating plant-based especially, that's major key. I want to make this video to inspire others to feel good, to look good, heal themselves for good energy all around. I even made some notes because I can get all over the place and I have lots to say about my journey so far. So 3 years vegan since January of 2018. At first, I went pretty much plant-based, like eating no more animals. And then I learned the difference that there's ethics involved, that we shouldn't be eating these animals or exploiting them in any way, shape, or form, or whether it be clothing or entertainment. It's definitely been a lot to learn, but at the same time, like, it's a very simple, easy concept to grasp. And once you start educating yourself of like what's really going on, you will never look back or want to do the same things that we were doing before that we normalized in society, because it's a pretty sick satanic society, if you ask me. It's definitely a journey that I am grateful for. So in the beginning, what helped me transition was the processed vegan junk food. I would say like vegan junk food like helps so much because it's very comforting. Then you transition to a more whole foods plant-based diet, which is like growing from the ground. That's plant-based diet, you know, where it just involves the food and the drinks. And then veganism is like no exploitation of animals at all, animal liberation. Like, come on, y'all, it's 2021. I felt a calling to go more raw, to eat more raw food, drinks. I just like, since like the second year eating plant-based, like I just noticed like I felt the best eating raw, and I just wanted to be more intentional with it. I'm actually taking a raw vegan class in April, and I'll be getting certified by the time it's April 18th. And I get to intern too for Zest Raw, so I am excited. Although I'm not fully raw yet, it just feels the best eating raw as I can. When I talk about raw, like raw is like living foods, and I want to give you the example of like the apple seed. So if you plant a apple seed in the ground, it'll grow, so it has life force in it, right? So if you take that same seed and you bake it in the oven and you plant it in the ground, it's pretty much dead. It doesn't grow anything. So that's what it means, like having life force, being living. So it's not about the food in your life, it's about the life in your food. Yeah, I mean, I just always want to keep evolving, and I'm learning. And like after like 19 and a half years of eating like unhealthy crap and food and drinks, like definitely very heavily like animal based, I don't want to partake in that anymore. Coming from parents or nurses, mom and my dad, most of my family on my dad's side is in the healthcare field, yet none of them were really healthy. They're from the standard American diet. It's a sad diet. Have you ever seen a fat, bald, gray-haired deer in the wild? Pretty much no. You can't even tell how old wild animals are because they're eating raw and living foods the way, just like how they're meant to be, like off the bush, off the tree. Just like all the other species in the world, they never cook their food. Like, I've never seen any animal like have a pan or a microwave or an oven like baking their food. Dehydrating is different because it's kind of like using the temperature of the sun to like dehydrate it, literally, because that's what it literally does out in nature too. It's a way to help preserve it without the moisture. I noticed that with wild dogs versus the dogs we raise as pets, that like most of the dogs who eat like a fake carnivore human end up with the very same diseases as their humans. I think all species should be eating raw. All the pets that we raise here. And anyways, going back to my childhood on dairy, animal products, because my parents used to think that if you turned life into death, that it must be good for us. Yet they were just as brainwashed as I was at one point. You know, we would go to the McDonald's every Sunday for a McKill Yourself kids meal growing up. It was like every Sunday we would have it was like a reward because they would have these toys in them. And like later on, by the time I was 17, I graduated high school early. I was on the couch and my mom was like, you better get a job. So then I started working at McDonald's, where I normally would eat during childhood. I was like, okay, like maybe like this will be good, because I was like so used to eating there. And then I just realized like the corruption of McDonald's. I realized how terrible it was from the food to the harm of the animals, and the people as a collective, you know, are suffering because of this. It's literally like the government and then the animal agriculture and Big Pharma, they're all working with each other. When I realized that, I went vegetarian first because I had an Indian teacher who helped me do that with a cadaver class, and then I went plant-based, fully vegan. By the time it was early 2018. Then when I was working in the healthcare system, thinking like what we're doing is good, you know, traditional medicine, whatever, I realized it's just as corrupt as McDonald's in its own way. So this is why I'm moving towards holistic health and not traditional medicine, because everything that traditional medicines promotes is like literally the exact opposite of what we need. They're giving people cooked dead animal food. They give them prescription pharmacy drugs to like numb out their pain, but they're not actually going to get cured, because once they're cured, it's a customer loss. Literally, we're the only species that are wearing the freaking face diapers and thinking it's doing anything, even though people aren't healing themselves from inside out, which is the way we're supposed to be living anyways. They care more about giving drugs to suppress the symptoms for a while. Sometimes like, they even make the conditions worse too for that person. And the only person, I want to tell you right now, the only person who could ever heal you is yourself. Not the doctors, nurses, or therapists. Sure, they can help you, but your body is doing the work and the healing. Yeah, that's also like a mini rant as to why I am leaving traditional medicine and going towards holistic health with more natural things. This is kind of like a 2-in-1 video, because it's another video explaining why I am out of traditional medicine, going towards holistic health, and why I've been vegan for 3 years, and basically my benefits and tips to that. With holistic health, even though I've been eating plant-based and vegan, you know, this whole time, like I really try to find like better ways of keeping our nutrition up and detoxing. That's why I love holistic health so much. Like it actually really works, and it just starts by taking the plants that we're meant to. Like every plant has its purpose here. Even weeds are really good for you. And then with holistic health, I've been taking my super aminos. This helps with muscle retention and losing fat at the same time. And it's not also about like the protein, but the amino acids and how much of it you actually absorb. And this is 98% absorbable. I just have to tell you about this because I love it. I love sharing it. Biomedic is great for helping detox the glyphosate out, and it has probiotics, and it's just so simple to take. The herbs in a vegetable capsule, you take 2. And then I have my power shake here. I just love this stuff. It has over 15 different superfoods in them. Whole foods, plant-based, just dehydrated in a form. It makes it so easy to do. So I'm so glad I found that into my 3-year vegan journey. This stuff is amazing. So none of the doctors, nurses, therapists, sure, they can help you in a way a little bit for your body, but ultimately it is your body doing the work and all the healing. This is the bod. Oh yeah, it's been healing. It's been getting there. So how did I get this idea of raw veganism in my head? I just want to say shout out to Mike Stone for freaking telling me about Nancy. She's from Texas and she's raw vegan best friend. I've never had like a raw vegan friend until now, and she's been raw vegan for 4 years, so she's been really helping me out with that, and that's the person I'm going to do my raw vegan class with, and I'm really excited for that. So where was this idea even started, even before I met her and even knew about like any of these people that I follow, like Marcus Rothkranz and Cara Brotman. I wanted to show the book, like Love on a Plate. This is like raw vegan gourmet, and it has like the most beautiful pictures and just amazing things that I still, I made some of these things, but I have still a lot to make from here. It's super simple. Some of them look complicated. Some of them take a long time. Some of them take very little time. So it depends if you're making a super salad or lasagna or vegan pizza or raw vegan pizza that's actually good for you. This one is really good. I like the crust. The Pop-Tart's so good. Like even the cheesecake. Amazing. Uncooked plants that'll change your life. I also got all the ebooks, the Free Food and Medicine book, where it shows you like all the wild plants that are growing around us, and plants are edible, which ones are poisonous, which ones to look out for, but even weeds have their purpose. So I love learning anytime I can, anytime like to educate myself. Yes, I love painting this beautiful face, but but I love learning what's in here even more and sharing that with y'all. So, okay, where did it all start? How did I even come up with the idea that eating raw is best? And then, you know, of course, like the ethics, like you always should have that with either the forms of entertainment or the clothing, and, you know, doing your best. Like, we're not perfect by any means, but to know that you're doing your best and putting them out there is so key. And I just wanted to say, like, out of the 3 years that I've learned, like, I know now, like, to just lead by example and be the light and try to educate as much as I can, and like people will come to it themselves eventually, or like maybe you plant the seed in their mind and like you keep watering, you keep telling it about them, and then, you know, it'll click with them. And I know to be compassionate even like when the person doesn't understand, because I know before I didn't understand veganism, I thought it was so hard, but you know, that couldn't be further from the truth. And it's very important we help each other out for that. And there's still a lot of things that I don't know. Always trying every day. It's not intimidating at all. It's actually amazing life transformation. So if there's anything you could take away from that, it's like, try it. Like, you have nothing to lose besides either like the weight or disease or animal's life, and supporting good causes. That's why I love Purium so much, because it's like an organic, non-GMO. There's no animal products in it. I have a good message. I try to take care of the environment too, and it's like, dang, y'all, we should all be hopping onto this. This would make the world a better place, more full of light, all that. Who doesn't want to date, right? All right, so now getting onto the story. Flashback to September last year. We went to Michigan for a cannabis trip for a resort that he's gonna buy, 65 acres, amazing. So before the trip, I had gotten offered 2 free bags of bread so that I took it on for a 5-day resort trip. Mind you, this is 2020 September. I was eating very heavily cooked food. Bread, I even found out like I made savory sandwiches and sweet PB&J, and just like every meal it's like loads of bread, because we had so much of it. Of course, like fruit never made me feel bad, but like when I came back home though, I seriously started feeling sick and I had a lot of mucus. And like thankfully when I arrived home, like I had a package of sea moss. Like it was my first time also trying sea moss, like, which is a raw vegan collagen. And I washed it, I soaked it, I blended it, I made a raw gel from the sea moss, and it helped extremely with the mucus, the tons of mucus that came out of every external hole on my body once I started taking it. And it took me 4 days to heal from that experience and all that mucus forming bread that I ate. And why did I know it was the bread? Well, when I started learning about Marcus Rothkranz, it was in his like free ebook, Heal Yourself 101, which to me is worth like thousands of dollars, and it's freaking free online, versus, you know, like the medical schools and healthcare field, you know, don't talk about this stuff in their indoctrination centers. But inside the book, it mentioned how bread is not found in nature, so it's not meant to be inside of us, and it's usually so baked to death, and usually that most of the time it's like old flour that they're using. So it definitely changed my perspective and my life completely, because it made logical sense. So I had to try it out for myself. I started noticing like I haven't eaten bread in like months, I tell you, and I feel so amazing, so much lighter without it. Really, we don't need to be eating it, and like yet it's so popularized, and I used to be addicted to it. Now I just don't care for it. I'd rather have like betta leaves or salad than freaking bread, because I notice like how heavy it is and how mucus forming bread is. So I'm glad I've gotten rid of that. I tried to like not have wheat as much as possible. Like if you just cut out wheat, because like then I learned about also like the glyphosate that they're spraying in a lot of like our foods, and like, you know, Monsanto, Bill Gates, they're like buying out most of the farmland, and they're trying to put their GMO seeds and spray Roundup, and that causes a lot of problems, which is again why I went to doing Purium and Biomedic, even though we're plant-based and not eating any more animal flesh or that. But it's very good to still keep detoxing, and even if you are eating like animal-based food, just know that there's like 14 times more pesticides, freaking parasites that we need to be cleansing out, and that's why a lot of shit gets stuck in people's colons. So I know I get sidetracked a lot, but it's just something important that I wanted to put out there. So I was really inspired by other raw foodists like Karen from Chicago, Marcus, Kara, Nancy came by, she inspired me. I was inspired by the raw recipes, so I decided to get the book that I showed you. And basically, even if you don't get any of like these books, whether it be vegan or raw vegan books, you can always get every recipe that you want to eat for free. Like you can literally YouTube a recipe that you really like, try to make it either vegan or raw vegan, and it has a lot of like free videos out there that people make and natural items to use, even like household things, even like on your face, like 100% pure, and lotions and whatever. So I like that too. So I started incorporating a lot more raw fruits, leafy greens, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, herbs, not cooked over 118 degrees, because usually like the temperature of the sun is like 120. So these are the benefits. I would notice the difference in my stomach of bloating, gas. My skin started breaking out less. I don't know if you could see. I just wear CC cream, but yeah, most days I'm not even wearing makeup at all. I started getting into enemas, which are very, very, very key into flushing out, even if like you're eating raw, like the air is toxic, and the water and like even the energy, like we need to be flushing that out. It's like taking a shower for our insides basically. So you need to be doing this, especially if you're eating cooked animal foods, then for sure you need to be doing that, doing an enema, which literally it costs like $10 or $20 to get like a big half gallon, and then you just could fill it up with just water, and then it'll help you go to the bathroom. So there's enema videos for that if you want to know, but you really never know how full of shit you are until you do one. So at first it was very daunting to me to be like putting water up my ass, but then I was like, wow, I'm so glad I started doing this, because you just feel so much lighter and just a lot cleaner, and your energy is just like way better. So I think it's very important to start eliminating. It's even more important than eating, because if you just keep eating it, it's just gonna keep accumulating. But at least if you're like flushing out while you eat, and then you want to flush out, if you ever feel like really big, or you feel like got a lot of shit accumulated in you, well then you need to do one. That's for sure. Nothing wrong with that too. And also go get a colonic done if you don't want to do it yourself. But I feel like it's just better to do it yourself, I guess. And then like doing like the dry brushing helps with moving your lymphatic system, which is great. Another thing that's helped me and many others to stop eating and drinking what's causing more problems and cause you to detox and cleanse. Even though you're doing all these things that are helping you to like, you also need to stop doing what made you sick in the first place. Definitely cut out all the animal foods, that's for sure. So make sure you stop doing what's bad. It's like, throwing water at fire, trying to get rid of it, but like if you keep doing what's bad, you're just throwing more gasoline into it. That's something that I noticed even within myself. And I've noticed like over this past year, especially like the new year 2021, like I feel a lot better, lighter, more pure. I feel while I'm able to critically think straight and not be like bogged down or tired, more energy, less sleep, more smiles. That's for sure. My mental health is definitely amazing, and I would like to thank Purium for that as well, because they have a lot of living foods and they make it so easy to do and so inexpensive, way more inexpensive than all these foods that could be delivered to us, because everything that you get is like literally $6 a day if you're just doing the daily core 4, versus like imagine how much you spend on a meal, $25. Or even like the ultimate transformation package was like $11 a day for 30 days, and like that changed my life for the better. So I would like to think that trying to eat as raw as possible, going towards holistic mechanisms more, and that's just advice that I would give. So this is the type of feeling that I think everybody should be experiencing. More smiles, not having to be bogged down or tired. Like there's no need to rely on caffeine or coffee. I haven't drank that in so long. I don't need it. Like my energy is like literally through the roof with my green juices, my smoothies. Eating this way raw sea moss is amazing. I'm not gonna be a purist by any means either, like, but I'm still gonna, you know, eat as plant-based as I should. Trying to be and transform to your very best self should be what we all strive for if we not only want to survive, but thrive. Oh yeah. I hope to inspire others to start eating more plant-based, and eventually we'll all level up to this. If you're ready, plant-based or vegan, then give this a try. Give raw vegan a try. Curium a try too. I mean, even though being plant-based or raw vegan, like it's like the way to go. And of course, not hurting animals in any way. That's why Pao also has the Tesla, because it's vegan, 100% vegan. No cow leather in there. And running off like electric fuel, not really like gasoline fuel, but you know what I mean. Okay, anyways, sidetracked. Give this a like if you want me to start making more of these videos or even recipes. Like, give me an idea, you know. I know recipes I'm gonna definitely love, because I'm trying to be getting certified to be a raw chef soon. Or if you have any questions, write them down in the comments below. Whatever I've been able to do, I know others will be able to do it as well. When you eat and drink higher vibrational goodness while cutting off the lower vibrational foods or emotions, it can help extend your life tenfold, and most importantly, the quality of it. Not always about the years in your life, but the life in your years. See where I'm going with this? Life brings life. It's the law of nature. We can never cheat nature. When we denature foods, we will feel this, and we will see it within ourselves and others. I hope you can join me on this journey. And about the denaturing of foods, what I mean is like not eating the way nature intended to. And of course, any animal that's meant to eat another animal's flesh or secretions, like they're built for that, and like we're not as humans. So we're definitely, I mean, look at these teeth. They're flat and square, and they're meant to be eating fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, vegetables, you know, herbs, even like cannabis. Amazing. I hope that you can join me in this journey. I'm sending you a whole lot of good ass energy, baby. Lots of good ass energies. Trick that, trick that, trick. The best of blessings and the motivation to be your best self is there, and I believe in you. And if you need any more motivation or really just want to know more about me, and I hope this was informative, I hope it inspired you. Just keep being that love and sunshine, and you'll get good karma and good blessings, and trying to do the least amount of harm to all beings, because we're all connected under one consciousness some way, somehow. And I hope that opens your third eye. Oh yeah. So I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.